Hello, my name is Matthew Cordell, and I am thrilled that my book, Hello Neighbor, The Kind and Caring World of Mr. Rogers, has been selected by the state of Illinois for the Library of Congress's Great Reads from Great Places. So to tell you a little bit about the book, Hello Neighbor, this is a picture book biography, which means it's a story, a true story about a real person. And it's about this man. His name is Mr. Rogers, or Fred Rogers. So the reason I wanted to make this book is I grew up watching a television program when I was a little boy, and that program was called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Now, some of my younger friends watching this might not be familiar with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but I think you probably have heard of another program called Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. So Daniel Tiger and Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood are the characters in that program, and the people, and a lot of the messages of every episode they come from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Mr. Rogers, he created the character of Daniel Tiger, and on the cover of this book we see a picture of the original Daniel Tiger, who was a puppet. So I grew up watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I loved it as a little boy. Every episode, it started out with Mr. Rogers would welcome the television audience, his viewers, into his home, and he would introduce boys and girls to new subjects and new things that maybe you haven't heard of. Like he would introduce us to different artists and musicians and take us into their studios and where they create their things and their music and their pictures. Or he might take us to a place that's more familiar, like a school or a circus, or a place where we would like to have fun. So there were all these wonderful visits in every neighborhood, and it was also a time of the episode where you would do make-believe, so there would be these puppet characters, and so it was a lot of fun, but it was very serious at times too, which made it sort of stand out from a lot of what was on television. Sometimes Mr. Rogers would talk about things that are difficult to talk about, like being sad or being upset about something or being angry, and he wanted to let boys and girls know that all of our feelings are worth talking about, and they're important, and all boys and girls of all different walks of life are important. So he had a lot of love and respect for boys and girls, and I am the same way. I love hanging out with boys and girls and spending time with them, and it's such an important part of my life, being a person that makes books for young readers. So I learned about the book. I learned about Mr. Rogers again as an adult when I started watching the program with my children. And it made me want to make a book, write the story of his life and draw the pictures. So it was great fun for me to be able to learn more about him, do research, and travel to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is where he lived and where the television program was created, and learn so much more about Mr. Rogers so that I could make the entire book and find out so much more, different stories I could tell, and parts of his personality that I could help explain. He was really such a wonderful, kind person.
What is your favorite place to visit in your state?
So I love Chicago. I love the city of Chicago. I love it. It's just a fantastic place to explore. My favorite part about Chicago is visiting museums with my family. We love the Field Museum, and we love the Art Institute. So I really love Chicago. I think it's my favorite part of Illinois.
Tell us about your city or town.
My city or town is called Gurnee, and it's about an hour drive north of Chicago. And Gurnee, you may have heard of some of the things we have in Gurnee. We have a Six Flags Great America. We have a Gurnee Mills, a big outlet mall. So I live in Gurnee, and my favorite landmark or part of Gurnee is our library. I love the Warren Newport Public Library. It's just been a wonderful place for me to find books, and I also do work at the library. I do my sketches and drawings there. So I love the Gurnee Public Library, Warren Newport Public Library. So thank you so much for this wonderful honor, and I hope that you will look for Hello Neighbor, The Kind and Caring World of Mr. Rogers. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.